नमस्कार बच्चों, वेलकम टू द बच्चों क्लास। बच्चों, पिछले एपिसोड में हमने उत्पाद विधि के द्वारा राष्ट्रीय आय की गणना कैसे की जाती है ये हमने देखा और राष्ट्रीय आय से जुड़ी हुई उत्पाद विधि के आधार पर कुछ न्यूमेरिकल्स हमने देखा। तो आज इस एपिसोड में हम हमारी जो दूसरी विधि है, राष्ट्रीय आय की गणना करने की जो दूसरी विधि है जिसे हम आय विधि कहते हैं, इसके बारे में बड़े विस्तार से हम पढ़ेंगे आज। ओके स्टूडेंट्स, टुडे वी विल लर्न अबाउट द calculation of national income through income method. So how we can calculate the national income with the help of getting the values of factors of production. So the earlier episode, when I started this second unit in the calculation of national income, I told you that the national income can be calculated by three methods. They are the product method, income method and the expenditure method. So in the income method, what we can see here that the national income can be calculated by getting the value of all the factors of production. So that is the factor incomes earned by all the factors of production in the economy where they are involved in the process of production for producing the goods and services. So today we will learn about the national income by income method, where we can also call this method as the distributor share method or the factor payment method. So by these words you can very easily understand what are the components are included in the calculation of national income through this method. So today we will study all these components in detail. So students, as I told you that the income method can also be called as the distributor share method or the factor payment method. So according to this method, the national income is measured in terms of the factor payment, that is the compensation of employees, rent, interest and the profit to the owners of factors of production. We know that the owners of factors of production is the household sector. So they are the labor, the land, the capital and the enterprises. So when these incomes are being received by the factors of production during an accounting year is said to be the national income derived from the income method. So we can say that the national income is estimated as the sum total of all factor incomes earned by the normal resident of a country who used to render their factor services during an accounting year, and which is being generated within the domestic territory of a country. So that is being called as what? The domestic income. That is the income earned by all the resident or the non-resident. Only thing is what we have to keep in mind, that whether it is being generated within the domestic territory or from abroad. So here we will include only those income which is being generated within the domestic territory, whether it may be by the resident or by the non-resident. We can say that it is the domestic income which is being earned by all the factors of production for rendering their factor services. Okay, now as I told you that the factor incomes which is being earned by the factors of production for rendering their factor services, here we need to understand what do you mean by factor income. So the factor income is the income which is being earned by all the factors of production as the reward for rendering their factor services. So they are, we have already read about the four factors of production. They are land, labor, capital and the entrepreneurship. And when these factors of production are being paid in return, as the land gets the rent, the labor gets the compensation of employees, the capital is being paid as the interest, and at last the entrepreneur gets the profit as the part of his factor services. So these are the four factor incomes which is being earned by all the factors of production in an economy for rendering their services in the production of goods and services. So when we add all these factor incomes together, which is being paid to them during a accounting year in a domestic territory of a country, So this gives the value of national income or the domestic income, and generally when we get the national income or the domestic income from the calculation through income method, that base value which we get from these summation of the factor incomes is being called as the NDP at factor cost, that is the net domestic product at factor cost. In the product method or the value added method, the value which we derive from the calculation of national income through product method, there the base value is being said to be the GDP at market price. That is the gross domestic product at market price. But here, when we calculate the national income through income method, the value which we get during this calculation of getting all the factors of income together, we get the value of NDP at factor cost, that is the net domestic product at factor cost. Okay students, now we will see about the classification of all the factor incomes. So we will see one by one. When we study about the factor incomes or the factor of production, students always keep in mind that we have only 4 factors of production which we are studying in our syllabus. So based on that, we will classify the factor incomes according to the factors of production. So let us take the labor as the first factor. So when I am talking about the factor production as the labor, so what the labor used to get? Good. He used to get the compensation of employee. So what is the compensation of employee? So you know that whenever a person is indulged in the production process on any kind of activity which involves in the economic income or the economic activity, at that time that person or that factor is being paid. So how they are being paid? First one, they are being paid as the wages and salary in cash. So when they are paid in cash, so that is the cash paid or the transfer to the salary account of the employee by the employer as the reward of his work done during the period of the accounting year. And you know that apart from the wages and salary, we know that when some people is involved in the production process or in the economic activity, they are not only paid in cash. Some people even get some payment in kind. So that is the second one is what? Payment in kind. So it refers to the benefits in kind. Take an example of an employee gets a rent-free accommodation. The accommodation which is given by the employer to the employee. And not only the accommodation, even some employers used to give the vehicle facilities. That is, they used to give the cars, some bikes, scooters, and even some employers are used to give the computers and laptops, etc. So these kind of payments which are being done in kind is also included as the part of factor income of the laborers or the employee. So second one is what? The payment in kind. Come to the third one, where we can see that the employer's contribution to the social security scheme. It refers to such kind of payments on the provident fund. So the contribution made by the employer on behalf of the employee in the provident fund. These contributions are being kept as a security when the employee gets retirement or he becomes insanity. The employee used to get the provident fund as his retirement benefit. And at last we have one more thing, that is the pension on the retirement. So after a certain period of time, the employee gets the retirement due to his old age. So when he is not physically able to work further in the value addition or in the economic activity, at that time he gets the retirement. And the employee gets the retirement, even after retirement, as a deferred payment, the employee used to get some payment as the part of his pension. That is the pension on retirement. So we can say that it refers to the old age pension, or it refers to the pension payment as a part of the service contract between the employer and the employee. So that is the pension on the retirement. So altogether, when we study about the compensation of employees received by the labor as the part of factor income, at that time we have 4 components, that is wage and salary in cash, payment in kind, and the employer's contribution to social security scheme, and at last we have the pension on retirement. So these four components together makes the value of compensation of employees. Come to the next one, that we call it as the operating surplus. So it refers to the income from the property and the entrepreneurship. So altogether the income which is being received through the property and the entrepreneurship skill by the entrepreneur, that is being together call it as the operating surplus. So we can very easily count the components of operating surplus, that is, apart from the labor we have other three, that is land gets the rent, the capital will be paid as the interest, and the entrepreneurship will get the profit part. So altogether in operating surplus we have three components, that is rent, interest and profit. So here we will study about all these three one by one. So first look at the rent. So what is rent? Rent is the payment paid on the land or any buildings where the economic activities are being carried out. When these land or the buildings are being utilized in the production process, they are being paid as the rent by the producer or the producing unit to the household sector as the reward for the service rendered by the land. And next we have the interest. So where the interest is being paid, the interest is being paid on the capital utilized by the production unit. The capital which is being invested in the production process, they are being paid in return to those people who have invested their money in the production process. So here the money are being invested by the household sector with the producer sector for the production of goods and services in the economy. So at that time, for utilizing these money in the production process, the capitals are being paid in return as the part of interest. And at last we have the profit. You know who gets the profit? Normally the owners of the business or the entrepreneurship. So the entrepreneur, the enterprises which runs the business or carries the production process in an economy, he gets the profit. So here we need to see one more thing. The profit is being again bifurcated into three components. They are the dividend, corporate or corporation profit tax, and the undistributed profit. So here we will see what are these dividend, corporation tax and the undistributed profit. First look at the dividend. The dividend is the part of profit which is distributed among the shareholders. It is also called distributed profit. So we know that when the enterprises are engaged in the production process and these enterprises are being combinedly run by the shareholders, by their shares, at that time these shareholders will be paid as the dividend. So dividend is the part of profit which is being paid to the shareholders. Then comes the corporate or the corporation tax. So these are the part of profit which is being paid to the government by the way of profit tax. So that we call it as the corporation tax or corporate taxes. Then at last we have the undistributed profit. In the beginning what I told you, when we divide the profit, first thing I told you that it is the part of the profit can be divided into the dividend. The dividend is also called as the distributed profit. So apart from these we have some undistributed profit. The undistributed profit is the part of the profit which is retained by the firms for future use, particularly to meet some contingent expenses, and it is also called corporate saving or undistributed profit. So students, whenever we get the numericals from income method, these concept, that is the dividend and the distributed profit, are the same concept. And second one, that is the corporate tax or the corporation profit tax, both are the same component. And again we have one more component, that is the part of profit is undistributed profit, or it can be said to be the corporation saving. So all these three components together makes the value of profit. At last we have one more component in the calculation of national income through income method, that is the value of mixed income. So what do you mean by mixed income? Mixed income refers to the income of the self-employed person using their own labor, land, capital and the entrepreneurship to produce the goods and services in the economy during an accounting year. So when these factors of production are being owned by a self-employed person, when that person himself gets the mixture of all these factor incomes, at that time this is being called as mixed income. And these incomes are the mixture of wages, rent, interest and the profit. So that is why we call this income as the mixed income. So here the separate estimation of wages, rent, interest and profit is not possible owing to the fact that the factors of production are not hired or purchased from the market, because here the only cell phone factors are used in the household enterprises. Normally they are the small enterprises run by the households. So at that time the incomes earned through these factors of production which are being self-owned by a factor, at that time these incomes are being combinedly said to be the mixed income. So altogether we can say that it is the sum total of factor income generated within the domestic territory of a country is called as the value of NDP at factor cost, that is the net domestic product at factor cost. So students, I think you can make a clear concept in your mind that when we want to calculate the national income through income method, so that gives the value of NDP at factor cost. So that NDP at factor cost will be equal to the value of what? Value of the compensation of employees plus operating surplus plus mixed income. When we add all these three components together, we get the value of national income, that is the value of NDP at factor cost. Okay students, now we will see about the conversion of NDP at factor cost into national income, that is the NNP at factor cost. As I told you that the national income which is estimated through the income method, that is the sum total of factor income generated within the domestic territory of a country by normal resident or the non-resident, that is being called as the value of NDP at factor cost. So when we get the value of NDP at factor cost in our hand, now the next process is what? We had to convert this NDP at factor cost into the national income, that is NNP at factor cost. So students, in the first episode of this unit we have studied that how the conversion can be done. So here the value which we got from the income method, that is the NDP at factor cost. And what is the value of it? National income, that is NNP at factor cost. So here we have to change only one component, that is the domestic component into the national. So in between the value of NDP at factor cost and NNP at factor cost, we need to change the concept of that domestic into national. So how we can change the domestic into national? Very simply, that is when we add the net factor income from abroad, the domestic value can be converted into the national value. The NDP at factor cost becomes the NNP at factor cost. The domestic value becomes the national value. So what the formula will be? NNP at factor cost is equal to NDP at factor cost plus net factor income from abroad. So through the way of income method, we can very easily get the value of national income. So students, that's all the steps involved in the calculation of national income through income method. Now we will see some precautions which we need to take when we are calculating the national income through income method. Okay students, when we are talking about the precautions, here we have some standard precautions relating to the use of income method. Here what we'll do, we will include only those factor incomes corresponding to the flow of goods and services in the economy, and we will not account for such incomes corresponding, there's no flow of goods and services in the economy to which there is no value addition in the economy, such that we will not include the income of such activity which will not create any kind of flow of goods and services in the economy. So these are the some standard precautions which we need to keep in mind while calculating the national income through income method. And apart from this, we will look some other components which are not to be included in the calculation of national income through income method. Okay, they are: first one, that is the transfer earnings. like all those transfer payments and the transfer incomes received, like the old age pensions, unemployment allowances, the scholarships, the pocket money which you get from your parents, they will not be included in the national income. Why they are not included? Because they are the transfer payments. There is no value addition done by these activities in the economy, so that these transfer incomes or the transfer payments will not be included in the national income. Then the second one is the income from illegal activities like gambling, thefts, the dacoits. So all these activities done by these people and getting the money through the shortcuts by the illegal activities, it will not be included in the national income. Why? Because these are termed as the black money, and it is not included simply because there is no estimates are available for such incomes in our economy, so that the income received through these illegal activities will not be included in the calculation of national income. Third one, that is the commission paid on the sales and the purchase of second-hand goods, are to be included. Why they are included? They are the reward for rendering factor services. Then the brokerage value, the brokerage commissions on the sale and purchase of the shares and debentures or the bonds. So this will also be included in the national income because it is being paid as the reward for the factor services. And one more thing, that is fifth one, that is income in terms of windfall gains. So what are windfall gains? They are the incomes which is being received in the way of lotteries. So the income received through lotteries will not be included in the national income because there is no value addition corresponding to the windfall gains in the economy. Then we have imputed rent of the owner occupied house. So it will be treated as the rent as the component of factor income. So we have to include the rent on the factor occupied houses. And apart from this, we have the production for self-consumption. So the production for self-consumption done by the producer, that will be included in the generation of national income. There should be generation of income in the economy. So it should be taken in the calculation of national income while calculating the national income through income method. So the production for self-consumption will be included in the national income. And apart from this, the corporate tax, dividends and the undistributed profits are all the components of the corporate profit. Once the profit includes all the estimation of national income, so any of these components will not be added separately. As we have said earlier that the profit includes the corporate tax, dividend and the undistributed profit. When these are already added up in the way of profit, we will not add these components separately in the calculation of national income. At last, we have one more thing, that is the income tax paid out of compensation of employee. It should not be added. So students, listen it carefully. Here the income tax which is being paid by people to the government, it will not be included. Can you say why the income tax will not be included in the national income through income method? Because they are the part of compensation paid to the employees. And these income tax or the other taxes which is received by the government is the compulsory transfer payments made by the people to the government. So because of, as they are the part of transfer payments, we will not include the income tax paid out of the compensation of employees. And at last, the wage and salaries in cash and kind, as well as the social security contributions made by the employees on the behalf of the employee and the pensions on the retirement, these components will not be added separately because these all components are combinedly given in the compensation of employees. Once we add the compensation of employees, we will not add these components separately in the calculation of national income. So students, whenever we are getting these kind of components while calculating the national income through income method, we need to ignore, because I told you that we have only three components, that is the compensation of employees, operating surplus and the mixed income. When we add all these three incomes together, we get the value of NDP at factor cost, and further it can be converted into national income by adding the value of NFIA, that is the net factor income from abroad. So by this way we can very easily calculate the national income through income method. So students, after this we will look some numericals on the calculation of national income through income method. So listen it carefully. Okay students, look at the question carefully. Here the following information is available for an economy. On the basis of this information, using income method, calculate domestic income and national income. So look at the items given here. The items are wages, rent, interest, dividend, mixed income, undistributed profit, social security contribution, corporate profit tax, and net factor income from abroad. So from these values we need to calculate the value of domestic income and the national income. So first we'll start doing the calculation of domestic income. So based on the items given in the question, we can get the value of domestic income, that is equal to wages plus rent plus interest plus dividend plus mixed income plus the undistributed profit plus social security contribution plus corporate profit tax. So when we add all these factors, the components together, that is the value we have 10,000 crore plus 5,000 crore as rent, 400 crore, 3,000 crore, then 400 crore as the mixed income, then 200 crore as undistributed profit, then 400 crore and again 400 crore as the corporate profit tax. So altogether, by adding all these factors together, we get the value of domestic income as 19,800 crore. So after getting the value of domestic income, we can very easily get the value of national income, that is domestic income. Here the domestic income is NDP at factor cost. So here the NDP at factor cost is to be converted into national income, that is NNP at factor cost. So very easily it can be changed by adding the value of NFIA. So we have the value of NFIA as 1,000 crore. So altogether the national income will be equal to 19,800 crore plus 1,000 crore. That gives a value of 20,800 crore as the national income. Students, look at one more question. Here we need to calculate the value of NNP at factor cost, that is the value of national income. So from the above items given in the question, we will calculate the value of national income, that is NNP at factor cost. So how we can get the value of national income? Look here, as a part of compensation of employees, we know the formula, that is NDP at factor cost is equal to compensation of employees plus operating surplus and the mixed income. And to get the national income, that is from NDP at factor cost to NNP factor cost, again we need to add the value of net factor income from abroad. So adding all the four factors together, we can get the value of national income through income method. So look at the items given in the question. As a part of compensation of employees, we have the value of wage and salary as 800 Arab. Then we have the social security contribution by the employee, that is the value of 100 Arab. By adding these together, we have the value of operating surplus as rent, profit and interest. So here the rent and royalty is given. So even the royalty is being added as the factor income, as the value is given here as 300 Arab. Profit, the profit is given as 500 Arab, and the value of interest is given as 400 Arab. And along with this, when we add these values together with the net factor income from abroad, so one more thing you need to keep in mind here, here the value of net factor income to abroad, what we have studied so far, that is the net factor income from abroad. So the net factor income from abroad is being added in the national income, but here we have the value of net factor income to abroad. So that value should be subtracted. So when we subtract the value of, so here we will subtract the value of 50 Arab. So altogether by this calculation we get the value of NNP at factor cost as 2050 Arab as the value of national income. And apart from this, the value of net current transfers to abroad is also given in the question, and along with this the value of net indirect tax is also given in the question. So these items should be ignored while calculating the national income through income method. So students, that's all for today. I hope you have understood the concept of national income through income method very clearly, and based on this I have given some homework. You can try this homework at home, and in case of any doubt you can contact us. Note on the homework. Method. So until then, keep learning, stay safe, stay alert. धन्यवाद.